Hey, it's me again, Miss Escamilla. Hi. Today, in this video, we're going to be talking about the second part of the UPSC math problem solving model, the P part. The P stands for plan. This is where we are going to make a plan based on the information that we gathered in the U part or the understand part of our model. When we're creating a plan, the first thing that I always ask you to do is to think, is this a multi-step problem? That means, is this going to require more than 2 steps in order to get to the answer of our problem? Is this a multi-step problem? We have a lot of these. The older we get in school, the harder the problems get, the more steps we have. And so it's really important to right off the bat, start thinking about, is this going to require me to do more than one thing, one or two things, like to complete more than one step. I'm sorry, I guess you could say not more than 2, but more than one step to get it done. Multi means more than one. Okay. And then so I'm going to go back and look at this problem. And a lot of times in the plan part of the problem, you have to go back and reread the problem in order to determine whether or not it's a multi-step problem. Now, I know that when I read this problem earlier, that we were trying to find out how many visitors rode the water slide in the first 2 years. And it gives us the number of visitors in the first year and the second year. Okay, so here's the first year. This is how many visitors rode. This is how many visitors rode the second year. And we need to know how many rode in both of these first 2 years. So that kind of tells me, I already know in my head, I'm already starting to come up with a plan. That's all I need to find out. That tells me that I only have 2 numbers, first year, second year. I know that I'm going to probably need to do something with these 2 numbers, and that's it. That tells me that this is not going to be a multi-step problem. If it was a multi-step problem, then you would create a plan in which you actually lay out the steps of the multi-step problems in the order in which you would solve them. So if it was a multi-step problem, then part of your plan would be to write, okay, step A, first you do this. Step B, second you do this. Step C, third you do this. You would write the steps in the plan in the order that you would solve them in order to get to the answer. But since this is not a multi-step problem, the second part of the plan section is to come up with a strategy that you will use to solve the problem. Now, there's a lot of different strategies that you can use in math. Some strategies might have you simply writing an equation, and you may need to draw a picture or a table or a diagram. It might be that you need to draw a number line. Okay, there are different strategies that you can use, but I know in this problem that I need to find out how many visitors came or rode the water slide in the first 2 years, and that in the first year, 34,573 people rode. In the second year, 56,364. So if I want to know how many people rode both these years, that word both, the first 2 years, tells me that I'm going to need to combine these 2 numbers or add them. So my plan would be to write an equation. And because I'm going to add these numbers, it would be an addition equation. Okay, so my plan is to take 573 and add that to 56,364 to determine the answer. Now, I don't want to solve it yet because we're in the plan section. I'm only making a plan at this point. Only making a plan. So I know that my plan is to add these 2 numbers to get the solution to the problem. Now, I don't know what the answer is yet. And in 4th grade, we start using letters to represent unknown numbers. It's the beginning stage of algebra. So I'm going to just choose any letter from the alphabet. A is the easiest for me, and I'm going to go ahead and just say that my answer is going to give me A. I don't know what the answer is going to be. It's an unknown number, so I'm going to give it a letter. Okay? So I have in the second part, the plan section of UPSC, I have gone back. I have reread the problem. I have determined whether or not it was a multi-step problem. I made a plan. And the strategy I chose to use in this problem was to write an equation. My equation is 34,573 plus, it's an addition equation, 56,364 is going to equal A. I don't know the answer yet. If you would rather write it, this is written up and down or vertically. If you would rather write your equation horizontally, then by all means, write your equation horizontally. Okay? Okay. On to the next step.